Welcome to Taiwan Talk. I'm Sheree Felice, and this week I am joined by former model and actress Aviis Zhong. Listen in as she talks about her job, her past, and her activism. Okay, so let's get into it. I heard, before you started acting, you were a model.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I think this is an accident because when I was in college, I was doing fashion design and I tried to help a makeup stylist. And one day she said she needed assistance. So he asked me, I said, okay, let's do it. So I became a makeup artist assistant. And one day some works got some trouble and the model, she just can't make it and asked me to help. And I said, okay, I just do it. That's the first modeling job. And after that, I started to become a model. That's an accident.
So you actually started a lot later than most women who start modeling start. Because most girls start around, 12, 13, 14?
Oh, I think Asian is so different.
Really?
Yeah, we're pretty different. Because 12 or 13 years old for Asian girls looks like very like a little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so different. So I think most of models, they start from 18, I think.
In Asia. Okay, that makes sense. How long did you model for?
Oh my God. Before I retired, that was like a few years ago, but I done modeling job for 12 years already.
Okay.
That was a long, long time. And I'm start Taiwan and Japan is my next stations. And I went to New York and I went to Paris. This is a whole 12 years what I've done.
And what would you say are some of the best parts about being a model and some of the worst parts about being a model?
Honestly, I don't really love modeling job. Seriously, but this kind of job make me travel around the world and I make my life wide open. So this is how I fell in love with this job. And I knew so many friends around and you start to, the fashion factory is really connect to my fashion design, what I learned from college. So that's the most thing I love.
Do you still design fashion?
No, at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's really hard to do both things in the same time. It's too busy for me.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
So how did you get into acting from modeling?
It's very interesting because if you do a modeling job in Taiwan, you're easily to touch some job like commercial shooting or like a music video shooting, and somehow it's just like short film shooting. That's how I start to be an actress. But at the first time, I'm not interested in acting at all. It's like maybe a few years ago, I don't want to do modeling job anymore. And so many friends of mine was like, Aviis, you look so great in TV and you should keep acting. I think that's you can do. If you want to do it, please do it best, something like that. And so I'm trying to review all the things that I've done. And I start to feel like, oh, actor, this job, it is not an easy job. It's like a huge challenge if you're very into it. And I think I want to be a better one. Seriously, I want to make myself better as I start to fall in love with acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of fell into it and fell into modeling, fell into acting, fell into your passion, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because before that, you had your heart set on being a fashion designer.
Yeah. I'm always want to do something about design, whatever it is, just design.
So you've always been an artist.
Yeah,
I would
always.
say.
When I was a kid, yes, I love painting, love drawing, everything. And my family always told me, come on, you're not going to make any money. So just think it twice, come on.
What has been your most favorite roles?
Oh, so far, my favorite is Mermaid. Because not so many actors, they have this chance to be a mermaid, Because before shooting, we had a lot training. This is something, I never had this experience before. It's really hard. But after that, I think you're not going to make a mermaid role again. And not so many people can achieve this thing. So I think that's my favorite one.
Okay. And what is the most challenging?
Oh, free diving. Yeah, because you're going to train to wear a very heavy tail of the mermaid tail, and you have trying to hold your breath every shooting when you down below the water over 2 minutes to 3 minutes. You need a very long time to train. So it's really, really hard job.
Yeah, I bet. What would you say is something in the movie industry that is actually quite challenging that people don't know anything about?
I have to say, no one could be good at the first time. Of course, I've been there. I know I tried 1 year and 2 years to try to fall in love with this industry. It's really, really hard, actually. So if you quit at the first time, you're not going to last to the future for sure. But I'm always say to be an actor and actress in Taiwan is really, really hard because we don't pay very good at first. Probably you have to work like over 5 years or 6 years. And finally you got a one role can make you popular or you're lucky enough to be famous. And that's the timing you can make money. But before that, you spend so many times many hours per day but you're not paid very well like somebody else. You have to think through that actually. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think makes a Taiwanese actor or actresses most popular? If they do a TV series in Taiwan or if they do a movie in Taiwan?
TV series, I think it's about culture because Taiwanese love stay home and open and turn on TV and just sit right there, do nothing. It's so many different than a European or American. They love to pay tickets into the movie theater to see an art movie or something. And basically, when I was in Paris, I think most of the families, they don't have TV in their house. That's the most difference than Taiwanese, the culture, I think.
Would you say that there's a Hollywood of Taiwan?
No.
No.
Not at all. But seriously, maybe 50 years ago, we have a lot of great directors and actors. They are very, very great. But I think the time just passed already.
Really?
Sounds, yeah.
Yeah. So you've worked all around the world.
Trying.
What has been the best location that you've worked in?
For modeling or actor?
Both. Why don't you tell me both?
The modeling, I would say New York and Paris. But being an actor, you have to see what you like, actually. Of course, everybody wants to go to Hollywood because it's really big and there's a lot of stars there, a lot of different kind of job. Of course, China, yes, they do have a different kind of rule. I think so far, I want to keep doing it. Maybe it's in Europe because I really love those like art movie. Yeah, I think European movie. I want to do most, yeah.
And you were in a French movie, yeah?
Yeah, two.
Two French movies.
Yeah, two French movies.
And what was that like? What's the difference between being on a French movie set as opposed to being on a Taiwanese movie set?
Oh, they are so different, actually. But I would say, basically, not so many difference because it's just a movie industry. Everybody do the same thing. But I think the French movie, I think they give you more open mind, actually. They don't want you to do this or do that directly. They want you to think and create, and they want you to give more things than just in the script. But I think a lot of Taiwan independent movie, they've done the same thing, but I think they more care about the color. And this is really, really different because when I do French movies, they were trying to find your color in every scene. And they would draw this thing and find, they would give you 5 different red or 5, maybe more 10 different purple, just want to find the correct color for you. But I think the Taiwan movie did not really care about this thing. I don't know.
Yeah. As a female in the industry, what challenges have you faced?
I don't know. I think in Taiwan, actress is even luckier than actor. But I know this thing in America or in Europe, it's totally different.
Okay. And why do you say that? Why do you say females are more lucky in Taiwan?
Because I think being an actor in Taiwan, the most of them, they say they were not happy. But I think of being female because you have more different kind of job than men. So this is just my opinion. I'm not sure this is right or what. I have to say, because in the world, still not paying equally is the big issue everywhere around the world. So, of course, Taiwan got the same problem, but it's not really, really serious thing so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people in Taiwan and abroad loved your role in the movie The Substitute as Nicole.
Ah, you saw that
Of
before.
course I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And how did you like playing such an open homosexual character? And what was it like bringing her to film?
Okay, I have to say, love is not different in any gender. So it is a love story, very simple love story. So if you just follow what they love and you're trying to make yourself a different looking character, then you can do it. It's not really, really hard for me because the director gave me some idea for this role. Like, oh, they want you to be a little bit boyish. So I'm trying to transfer myself. Looks like a boyish girl. And I'm trying to make my voice down a little bit and trying to find the way I talk. And basically, the way I'm searching for love, just anybody else, that's so different.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your activism. What got you into activism? What got you involved? Why did you decide that you were going to use your platform as an actress, as someone famous, to support different causes?
I think the most important thing for my family is because I'm raised by my auntie. So I think my family is not normal like somebody else. My mom died when I was very young. And my father, he disappeared for some reason. So when I was a kid, two of my aunties, one is my mom's sister, one is my father's sisters, they really took care of us a lot. So for me, I really care about women because I think in my mind, the women, they are great. They are powerful and they can do anything than men. This is in my impression. And so for me, of course, I care about the women's issue a lot because I even want to take care or think about some other girl just like me. They don't have home or they are lonely or they have some troubles in their lives. I really care about girls, actually. That's what I started to when I made the women conference. What's the name? Oh, yeah. And I never feel hesitated to join this charity. That's the first thing. And I want to do it. No matter how much they need my help, I will just do my best to help. This is how I think.
So you're speaking at the 4th World Conference of Women's Shelters, but do you support any other causes or charities, or is that your main one?
This is my main one, actually. Yeah, for the women story things. And the second things, I joined a charity, but that is my personal things that I want to do is like how to protect the environment or protect the ocean. This is some other charity that I'm doing always when I was very young.
Yeah. So one of the organizations that's sponsoring the 4th World Conference of Women's Shelters is the organization called Garden of Hope. Mm-hmm. And they advocate stopping violence against women. Do you have any relationship to that? Have you ever experienced that?
Okay, because I never mentioned that before, but until last conference, I started to share the story. It's really hard for me because I always want to give my dad a second chance to be acceptable for the society. But because at the day, there's 2 girls that share their life. And I remember maybe 2 years ago, I mentioned about the hashtag #MeToo. So I started thinking, if I want to represent this, I have to say something, like share my own story. Yeah. I can't forget when I was young, my mom been through a lot of violence by my dad. So I saw a lot of things that I don't want to remember. Even my older sister and my younger sister, we saw everything. But we were too young to understand what happened until we grown up. And we started thinking, oh, that was so wrong when what we sing when we were little. So I think this is the only thing I want to share to somebody else. We are lucky because we are healthy, we are happy, and we had great education by my auntie, but not so many girls or kids could be so lucky like us, have somebody raise up and with a very great education. So, of course, I want to tell some others, if you've been through something like this, just please do not be silent. Just speak out, because when you speak out, all the people will support you and help you. Yeah.
Okay. That's great advice. And so now you're speaking at the 4th World Conference of Women's Shelters.
Yeah.
Correct? Mm-hmm. If people are interested in hearing you speak, when are you speaking?
You mean in Kaohsiung?
Yeah.
Okay, from 5th to 8th November, just in Kaohsiung, please be there and trying to listen to all the girls. They have a very great speech, but I'm not sure I'll be there for any speech. So, but if you have any problems or questions you want to ask, come to my fan page. I will try my best to answer all the questions I can.
Okay, and what's your fan page?
Oh, my name Aviis Zhong, and with the Chinese one. Or you can find my Instagram easily, Aviis Zhong as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Last question. So you speak a ton of languages. You speak English, French, Mandarin. Japanese.
Oh, yeah, it was.
So you speak 4 languages?
Yeah, 4 languages.
So how did you learn Japanese, French, and English?
Okay, I live in Japan like 3 months, 4 months, so I forced myself to learn it so I can communicate with them. But when I start to learn French, Japanese is like, a little bit fade away in my mind. But French is like I traveled to Paris almost 1 year, so I the same. I forced myself to learn French. But English is such interesting because my auntie, they really care about our English education. So they sent us to American cram school when I was little. So when I off the school, the only thing that I was doing is go to cram school and sit right there and learn English. But every time when I was in the car with my auntie's always open ICRT to say, okay, try. Do you understand what they're saying? Do you understand what they're saying? How about the weather? But actually, my auntie, she doesn't speak any English. So I'll try to like whatever translation to her. But she doesn't know. This is how I learn English from ICRT.
So you've been listening for quite a while.
Oh my God, over 20 years, I think.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so good to have our good fans back on.
Yeah, so the first time when I met Stevie G and Joy and you now, Shirley, I was like so excited. I'm always excited. Yeah.
That's great because I think we're just as excited to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Shirley.
No, so thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
You too.
That's it for this week's episode of Taiwan Talk. I'd like to thank Aviis Zhong again for joining me. Don't forget to tune in next week for an all-new episode. As always, remember to take care of yourselves. I'm Sheree Felice.